Okay.
Take your roll call.
Okay, Mr. Simpson's present. Mr. Subio is present. Trask is present. Ms. Jones is present. Ms. Mabry is present. I am present, I hope. We have the Chief present, and we have Len Hess from IT. Okay.
We have approval of minutes from last month.
Okay.
We have any corrections or objections? If not, approval of minutes for last month.
So moved.
Ron, second. Joe, second.
Second.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Okay.
No opposed? All right.
No opposed. The next item, Mr. Chairman, you have the Chief's letter with Mr. McMahon for his approval for promotion.
Chief, since he's not here, you want to tell us anything?
Yeah, actually, Officer McMahon has done a very good job. He hasn't been able to go as much training as we'd have liked to because we pretty much suspended any outside training, even though there's very little being offered right now, just to be on the safe side of COVID. But he's doing a good job. He already came to us with 10 years experience from Philadelphia, and he's learned our way, report writing, handling his own court cases, doing his own preliminary investigation. So I've been very happy with him, and we just hope to get to the point where he can get to some of this training, some more training, outside training, just to further his knowledge. But he's been a good addition.
Okay. Anybody have any questions for the chief about Officer McMahon? If not, Tom, we need a motion, correct?
Actually, it's no longer required by the rules that we adopted, I guess, 6 months ago. But
Oh, okay.
there's nothing hurting if you want to make a motion to approve the promotion. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, let's do that. Anybody have a motion to
Make a motion.
accept the chief's recommendation to promote Officer McMahon by Joe Subio? Do we have a second?
I'll
Second.
second.
Second by Karen Mabry. Any objections? If not, all in favor, say aye.
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 Okay, Mr. Spears?
Okay, well, now turning it over to the chief for the, well, first up, what I had previously, when I sent the notice about the meeting and sent the emails out, we were talking about suspending the list, the eligibility list, and initiating a new testing process. That's on hold right now. So
Okay.
that's why you don't see any of that today. And so now it's just the chief and the report on the status of the police department.
Are we going to do the application fee at the same time?
That's part of, I already prepared all the motions.
Okay,
Or all the
so-
resolutions are all done, and reducing it from 35 to 20 is part of the approval resolution. We set the fee.
Okay,
One note before we get to the chief is don't forget next Wednesday night, we have our test. Really, we advertise that for the test to start at 6 o'clock. So if you want to be there around 5:30, we can get set up. It's not going to be like an entry test. It's not going to be a long, we only have 14 people, so you're not going to be checking in 300 of them. So
right.
it should be a fairly simple procedure from that standpoint. Okay.
Okay. Where are you doing, Chief?
We're doing it in the township building. I've got it spread out. We were going to go into the auditorium for instructions, so it's nice and spread out. And then I have separate rooms for people to do it in. So the engineering and lunchroom in the township building, and then our roll call room. I'm trying to keep people spaced.
Okay.
I also, what I did was, because I don't know how comfortable any of you are, with those smaller rooms. So what I was going to suggest, and of course it's not up to me, that's up to you, but I do have two people from from the police department, Chris Pelusi and Sabrina, who is our records manager. And they're going to check them in, and they're going to also be there as proctors, since one group is going to be inside the police department, which we've been trying to keep off limits to the general public. But if one of you would like to be there as a witness, you're certainly welcome to. What I was going to ask the proctor to do is to stay outside the roll call room, because there's big windows and they can view them and help them if needed. And then another proctor would be in the other rooms, or at least available to them. So I'm just trying to keep space. But if any of you, want access, by all means, give you access. But I do have people to do as proctors so that you don't have to feel compelled to do it if you're not comfortable with it. So,
All right.
just
Show of
so-
hands, who is going to be there Wednesday?
I'm sorry.
So by
Oh.
show of hands, who can-
Available.
so Joe, Ron, you are or aren't?
I'll be there.
Okay, so everybody will be there. Okay.
Just remember that when you order the pizza, John.
I will. And there'll be plenty of room for, for all that also, so you feel
Okay.
comfortable.
Okay.
Okay.
I just wanted to explain to you briefly, I feel bad, but we will address it next month anyway, that I had asked Tom to do this stuff on short notice about decertifying the list and so forth, and then last minute again asked him to hold off. A lot of that was I wanted to at least give due courtesy to the people that were currently on the list. That list has another 3 months, I believe. I think it's December 13th that it expires. I just wanted to make sure we do our due diligence to make sure of certain things. And what I found out, there are no academies right now running in 2020, and all 3 people that are on the list do not have the academy. So that's one thing I wanted to make sure of. I also wanted to make sure whether all 3 of those people were still available, and they're all still interested. But again, there's no academy class. So essentially, the list would expire a good month before there's an academy class anyway. So in good conscience, I'm going to recommend next month that yes, we do decertify the list if you're agreeable to that. I'm also asking that we reduce the fee to take the test to just over what it costs us to buy these tests, and then it would be incidental costs. So that would drop it by like 40%. And it's twofold. One, none of us want to make money off the test. And 2, I want to make it easier for people to take the test. Why should they have to? Why should it be a hardship? So since it does cost thousands of dollars, if we had done it last time with 600 people, that would have been a cost of $9,000 to us. So we're going to ask just enough to cover the cost of that. So that's the reasoning for all that. And then with all the new rules that you all just passed, that's what I'm hoping to do. I'm to take advantage of for this next testing process. And I'm also trying to make it coincide with the academy classes that are available. We checked for 2021. And we won't be able to take advantage of any of the ones in January for timing, but I don't want to have to rush anything either, especially the backgrounds. So it looks like if we need to use academy, it'd be Temple, and that doesn't start till May. So that gives me more than enough time to do backgrounds, to get somebody scheduled, to get them into that class and so forth. So in the October meeting, this is something I will officially ask all of you. But I just figured to do it the right way, I should give these people the courtesy instead of just canceling the list of finding out the questions to these or the answers to these questions.
So when are you looking to test?
If everything goes as planned, and I ask all of you next month, I don't have the dates in front of me, but I was looking around the second week in November. I'm trying to stay away from the holidays. So the second week in November for the written, the agility would be, I think, 10 to 14 days before Christmas. And then the orals, which will take a full week, because now we're doing the top 50 scores, would be around June 4th to 11th, that full week of January.
January, yeah.
That full week of January. And then I'm going to have to give myself a good month or so for backgrounds, and then I would come to you in February to see if we could certify the list. And then that would give me plenty of time to either hire if that person has the academy or is already a police officer, or if not, it'd give me more than enough time to get them into the Temple Police Academy. So it's going to take a little bit longer, but the whole idea was to get good people, to give people a chance to diversify. So I still think it's the right way. So.
Okay.
Chief, these 3 people, are they need to retake the test if they want to get back on the list?
They would need to, yes. Now, that was the other thing. I was taking a good look at the people to see if they were people that were worth waiting for, trying to get them in. And certainly I'm not making a judgment on their character. They're all decent people. But there was nothing there. There was none of them had the academy, none of them had experience, none of them had military. It wouldn't have helped us at all as far as diversifying. If there was a female or minority in there, maybe it would have been worth trying to get that person in for a month before the academy started. But in this case, that wasn't the case. They were all young white males with no experience, and we were already down to about 10 or 11 on the list. So all those things put together, there didn't seem to be any kind of immediacy to grab these people while they were there. I'd rather take advantage of all the changes we made to get a bigger and better pool of people the next time.
How many people are you expecting to test next time? We had 600, didn't we?
We did, and with everything that's going on, I know there hasn't been as much interest. So I've had our community policing officer, Mark Lacey, really put something together where we could actively recruit for a good 6 weeks. So I was trying to do it on a 2-tier type of thing. One is going to be to, appeal to minorities and women's groups. I gave a whole list of NAACP presidents, and there's a local group, I forget the name. I think it's CALEA, that has to do with racial equality, the LGBT group. So I'm really going to try and hit that group and ask what, they would like to see from the police and if they'd like to get involved. And then I'm also going to approach a lot of these larger police departments that people have been leaving, Philadelphia, Camden, Wilmington, and appeal to the fact that this is a good community to come to, one that supports the police and a police department that's progressive and looking to diversify. So I'm hoping to appeal to both groups. I don't anticipate getting 600 this time, but I would still like to aim for 250 to 300. So I guess we'll have to see, because I want a big pool. I need to get a big pool so I can get a good representation of a lot of different people.
And
So,
Chief, none of those 3 people were asking for extensions or anything because of COVID. They were just basically, they understood it was going to expire and they'd have to retest.
we didn't tell them too much. Just we said, we're not offering you, but are you interested? And Tom would know better, but my understanding is that the list can be cut short, but it can't be lengthened, is my understanding.
Correct.
Okay.
We have nothing, unless the governor makes an emergency order that supersedes things. I'm not aware of anything that would extend a civil service list. It was approved in December of 2019, so it's due to expire soon anyway.
And again, I'm not making a judgment on them. They were good people. They got good scores, but we went to great lengths to change the rules for civil service. And here's an opportunity to do that, a legitimate opportunity. I'd like to start putting into effect. I mean, it's time. It's time to, move forward. So I don't have any problem with that. And I know in the past we've done the same thing when we've gotten toward the end of the list. And like I said, we don't have any academy classes anyway. So legitimately, this list is going to expire before the opportunity to put them into an academy.
Hey, Chief, I have a question for you. The next meeting would be October 8th. To do a test the first week in November, it doesn't give you that 6 weeks you need.
I counted it out.
Okay.
From maybe it's a little bit later than that, but I did make sure it was exactly 6 weeks, whatever I had counted out. But I'll make sure.
Yeah, make sure, and then just get me the dates, because it's just a matter of cleaning up the resolutions and changing the dates, so we all set for the meeting.
Okay.
But I didn't want you to cut it too short.
No, and if we need, I don't want to cut it short, because I do want to use that time to recruit. I want to actively go and ask to speak at some of these different places, and I've already got some friendships that I've cultivated. I want to talk to these people and find out what they're looking for from us, and push that agenda. So I just wanted to explain that. That was what the delay was about. Other than that, new business. We've had some officers get injured. We've had a couple of violent encounters. One where 2 of our officers were out. One of them might be out for a decent amount of time. One got bit by somebody who was HIV positive purposely, and that same person also looks like he tore the shoulder of one of our other officers. So he's in the process of getting MRIs and might be out with surgery for a while. And then I don't know if we actually put something on our Facebook page just to let the public know that things were safe. But we had an individual who I guess had a mental health episode, was throwing furniture out of the third story window, and then took his 9mm and started shooting out the window down it. There was no people that got hit, but unloaded a 9mm gun, 14 rounds he shot out there. So we were able to take him in custody. Nobody got hurt, thank God. But I guess those are the most prominent things that have happened since our last meeting. Other than that, calls have pretty much back to normal for our guys as far as frequency and so forth. Not as much traffic, but just as many calls.
Okay.
That's pretty much all that's new. COVID-wise, we're still doing okay. We've had a couple people stay out as a precaution if a family member tested positive, but they've still been good and they've been back in a matter of days. They tested negative. So things we've been lucky, fortunate, knock on wood with that.
So with your injuries, and how's your staffing, Chief?
It's not bad. I mean, I'm going to be one officer short when Sergeant Longo leaves in a matter of 3 weeks, because we just let go of one officer, and now I'm going to be down 2 with the officer with a shoulder injury. The one that was bit has to go through I think about 6 months of shots and antibiotics and tests on his liver, but he was right back to work. He's okay. So not terrible. I mean, 2 people down right now is not, typically you can be 4, 5, 6 people short in a department our size and still not feel it too much, just with, changing schedules and so forth.
Right.
So we're doing good.
Okay. Anybody have any questions for the chief? No?
Yes, sir.
Nothing else, Chief? And Tom, anything else?
No, I have nothing else, but I'll see you all Wednesday night then.
Next Wednesday night,
Well, it'll be at 5:30 because
I was gonna say 5:30. I know.
the test is supposed to start at 6. So,
And I'll have people there by 5 just to get things going. So don't,
like I said, with only
it'll be-
14 people and then being police officers, I suspect they should be here on time.
I hope so.
Yes.
All right, sounds good.
All right,
Thank you.
motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Paulette, second.
Second.
Second by Ron. Okay. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right. Good night, everybody. Be safe.
Take
Have
care.
a good night.
Thank
Stay
you.
safe,
Bye-bye.
everybody.
Good night.
Good night.